Hey guys, Mark here. After lots of research and experimentation, you guys have no doubt heard of Dr. William Davis's Reuteri Yoghurt. Now here in South Africa we don't have half and half milk, so we had to improvise, and I'd just like to show you my recipe that I've managed to successfully make yogurt time and time again. This particular recipe will work with a previous batch of yogurt that I've made. If you want me to, just let me know down below and I'll make a batch from scratch so that you can have a look at that. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to warm my milk and I'd like to warm my cream to 38 degrees before I do any of the mixing. So here I've got my Instant Pot Pro. What's nice about this pot is that you can actually set the temperature to exactly what you want it. So with this particular pot, I've set it to 38 degrees. I filled it with some water, and I've taken my my milk and my cream, and I've kept it in this pot for about half an hour or so, just to warm up the milk and warm up the cream. So if you come and have a look here, you'll see that the milk that I'm using is this particular Parmalat full cream milk. This has been ultra pasteurized. So, and if you feel it, you'll feel that it's at the 38 degrees. Right, this is the cream I like to use. This is the Woolies UHT long life cream, and this is full cream. So the milk is full cream milk, and then I've got of course the cream. So what you want to do is definitely dry off the containers, because you'll see just now when I pour it into my mixing bowl, I don't want any of the water that's on the container to drip into my mixing bowl. Let's quickly talk about the ingredients. So to make a new batch from previous yogurt, what I've done is this is some of the yogurt that I've made previously. It's just come out of the fridge. I haven't actually used this. You can see it's got a very nice stiff sort of texture in this console jar. So number one is everything must be completely sterile. So I've boiled the kettle. What I like to do is pour this boiling water into my mixing bowl. You don't have to put in too much. You then just swirl the water around carefully, just so that you reach all the points where you're going to be doing your mixing. Then sterilize my spatula. So this is the spatula I will use to do the mixing. So just make sure that you've got it nicely sterilized. I like to place it on the edge so it's not touching anything. This is my measurement tablespoon. I like to sterilize that as well. And then these are the jars that I like to use. This is a Consol 500 milliliter jar. So I've got 3 of them, and the yogurt I'm going to make, or the mixture I'm going to make now, will be enough to fill these three jars. So next thing I will do is I'll take some of this boiling water and just pour it into the jar, swirl it around. Just make sure that hot water gets nicely to the edges. Same time, I'm also heating up the jar slightly. Good. Let's pour a little bit of boiling water onto these caps. And we want to get all the bacteria, want to kill any bacteria that might be hanging around, and then discard the last bit of water that's in the mixing bowl. The next thing I like to do So this bowl is going to be too hot for our bacteria, which we're going to take from our last batch of yogurt that we made. So you do have to wait a little bit for this bowl to cool down somewhat. In the meantime, take a little bit of my milk. I'm going to pour about 2 to 3 centimeters of this milk into my mixing bowl. Just make sure that it's nicely dried off. So you don't want any of the water that was on the side of this milk packaging to fall into your mix. Might just be some bacteria in there. Okay, so I pour about 2 to 3 centimeters of milk into my mixing jug. Yeah, this temperature feels good. Then we've got the now inulin powder. This is the prebiotic. It's a food for our probiotics that we're going to add from the yogurt. What you want to do is you want to pour this, or you want to put 2 tablespoons of this now inulin powder into your milk. The way I found it to work best is you take your tablespoon, sprinkle the powder into the mixing bowl. The reason I sprinkle it in is if you put the powder into the bowl first and then the milk, you tend to get quite a lot of clumping happening. So this powder tends to clump up quite a bit if you do it the other way around. That was the first spoon. Here goes the second spoon. Again, pour it all around the mixing bowl, the inside of the mixing bowl. There we go. And now what you want to do is you want to give it a good stir. So this milk is at 38 degrees. It may have dropped 1 or 2 since we poured it into this mixing bowl. And you'll find that your inulin powder mixes very well with the milk. It tends to make a lot less clumps. There may be a little bit. If there is, just turn the bowl to the side and sort of pull the spatula towards the side just to sort of break up any clumps that there might be. So this inulin loves to clump up, and that's why the sprinkling of the inulin powder works so well. It just makes the job so much quicker. So if you look there, you can see it's nicely dissolved. You won't get it 100%, but this way comes quite close. Right, the next thing I want to do is I want to take 2 tablespoons of my yogurt. Look how beautifully creamy this yogurt is. So you'll see now when I take a scoop. So this is 1. Put it into my mixture. Take a second scoop. So this is a tablespoon measure. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix our yogurt into the milk. Also make sure that there are no clumps. There won't be the yogurt mixes quite easily into our mixture. If there are clumps from the yogurt, it's not the end of the world. Right. So there we've got the most difficult part done. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in my cream. Doesn't matter, you can pour in the cream or the milk first. There's no difference. Because the cream is a bit thicker, I like to just add it first. Stir it in nicely with our mixture. I can feel this cream is also at the 38 degrees. Now our mixture is looking really, really creamy. And the next is our Parmalat box milk, and we're going to pour the rest of it pour the rest of the mix into our bowl. And then we're just going to mix well. They say you shouldn't beat this because it can kill the bacteria. That's the last thing we want to do. We want to grow the bacteria. So this is just my my South African version of how to make this delicious yogurt. We eat half a cup a day and we love the effects of this yogurt. Right, so there's our mix. Next thing we want to do, so you'll feel that your jars are still a bit warm from the from when we sanitized it with the boiling water. So you'll see that this is a liter of milk and 250 milliliters of cream. You'll see that when we fill this up, it'll actually get just to the neck of this console jar, and it fills all three to that level. Fantastic. And you'll see how little clumping there actually is if you look at this bowl. Don't throw that away, eat it. It's absolutely delicious. Right, next thing you want to do is you want to put your lids onto these console jars. So turn it tight and then just loosen it so that it feels loose. That is, if there's any pressure in this bottle, then at least that air can escape. So turn it on, just give it a turn so that it's slightly loose. And now we're going to be putting these in my Instant Pot. So this is my Instant Pot. You see it's still running because I used the 38 degrees at which I'm going to ferment my yogurt. I've left the water inside there. The bottle of milk and the bottle of cream was heated up in this exact same pot. So I've just left it on. With the Instant Pot Pro, you'll see that it's got measurements here on the side. And I have found that if you fill this pot up to 1.5 liters and you put your 3 jars of 1.5 liters in here, then it will bring the water up to the neck. What I've also done is, and that's just for myself, inside the pot we've got a little silicone mat. The reason I've put that in there is I would like the water to heat up my jars. So there goes the first one, and there we go. Right, this is my Instant Pot Pro. So what you want to do is you want to select the yogurt function. You'll see it's been preset to 36 hours. You hit the accept button, and then my custom temperature I've got here is 38 degrees, and you select that and you press the start button. And now we wait for 36 hours. I'm going to close this pot. There's no reason to open the vent or anything like that. I haven't opened the vent on any of our yogurt batches. But now we'll wait 36 hours, and I can guarantee you that the consistency that we're going to get is going to look like this. And it's absolutely delicious. I promise you, this yogurt comes out perfectly every single time. Thank you.